Kerner Hall is located in the heart of Toronto at 273 Bloor Street West, beside the iconic Royal Ontario Museum. The building was designed by KPMB Architects and is a TELUS Centre venue. The building is 21,097 square feet, and construction was completed in 2009. Kerner Hall's primary function is a music venue. It is home to the Royal Conservatory of Music and also hosts a number of concerts and practices throughout the year. Classical, jazz, pop, and opera are but few of the genres of music which have been performed in the hall. In addition to being a venue for music, the design of Kerner Hall is also suited for many other events to take place, including lectures, screenings, and plays. The acoustical considerations of the building allow it to be programmed depending on the particular program taking place. We chose the building as we were initially intrigued by its aesthetic and became further interested in the various programmatic functions it is designed to accommodate. Having had brief interactions with the hall in the past, we were curious to discover more in terms of function, design, and history. The building is designed to serve the functions of performance, whether it be for plays, orchestras, concerts, or lectures. An example of this is the adaptation capacity of the stage, as it changes to accommodate different volumes of people, as does the orchestra pit. We chose Kerner Hall as the focus of our video because we felt the design was well suited to its function. That being said, no major design flaws are evident. However, one issue we found in the design pertains to the seating. The rows of seating are particularly long, which we can see as being a problem when being seated in the center of a row and having to get up during a performance. A second thought on the design of the hall is that it has a far projection, in the sense that people seated at the back of the hall are quite far from the stage. This is not a design flaw per se, but when in the space, it was not reminiscent of other concert halls or theaters where there is usually an intimate setting and the stage and the audience are in close proximity to one another. Thus, it does not fit in with past memories and experiences and changes our perception of what it is like to be an audience member. One of the first changes we would make in the space to enhance experience and perception of the hall is in the seating. In the current space, there are approximately 20 seats per row, and people have to be in close proximity with one another and must walk through the personal space of other seated guests. This would be an ideal situation for large groups coming together to see a show. However, individual parties may not be as comfortable with this arrangement. If we could make a change, we would make the rows contain a smaller number of seats, allowing for more aisles and more circulation throughout the area, which would ultimately create less distractions when individuals have to get up and move about their seats. Avoiding these larger rows would help reduce stress and crowding and allow the patrons to give their undivided attention to the performance. This change is necessary to avoid overstimulation, which will prevent patrons from being bombarded with too much external and unwanted stimuli, and will allow them to achieve the proper level and experience of arousal. The second change we would make to the hall is with regards to sound. The space is designed to enhance the wanted sound from the performance. However, with this comes the enhancement of unwanted sound or noise. Because of the large capacity for patrons in the hall, the amount of noise from talking and moving is quite profound. The annoyance of this unwanted sound is dependent on the source of the sound, the duration, the personality types, and ages of the guests, and the response of other guests in the area. Reducing this unwanted sound may not always be effective because of the number of guests in the space, but it would likely help to enable guests to have a better experience of the performance. A possible suggestion would be to organize the seating prior to the performance according to time slotting, where guests would take their seats at various time intervals depending on where they are sitting. This will help decrease arousal and stress and increase positive emotions. Overall, we had a positive experience in Kerner Hall and felt the design of the building was well suited to carry out its functions. The changes we have suggested would likely help to improve the experience of the audience, but we are sure to admit that the current design of the building is quite impressive and has become one of our most enjoyed spaces in the city to be in.